Hey, it's Don, the auction professor here today. We're going to talk about eBay systems a little bit. And what I mean by systems, it's setting up a standard policy for how you do things, a standard practice, an SOP, a standard operating procedure, something that every business uses in the real world away from the internet. It is something I've used in every place I've worked, maybe not by my choice, but by the company's choice. Having systems in place will greatly increase your efficiency as well as your business in general. A good example of systems on eBay would be business policy. Setting up business policy so every listing you have has, say, the same payment process. So they pay a certain way, they do it a certain way, the fees are a certain way. They always know what's going to happen. You can set that up for all of your listings at the same time. You can also set up return policy. So you have a standard stated return policy. If you don't have a return policy, you can state that in a policy as well that, hey, I don't do returns. And then every listing you have will have the same basic information. That's key because it stops you from messing up things and having a couple listings that you messed up and literally you miss them. This fixes that whole issue. We do the same thing for listing. We do the same thing for packing. Pretty much every aspect of our business is done the same way. We photograph in the same areas. We use the same equipment, the same settings. Everybody knows what setting. We have a list actually written down for settings on what you do on camera settings or video settings, or how the light should be, where a certain item should be photographed depending on the size and things like that. So these are all key things that you can set up a system for and have a standard operating procedure, standard way to do anything. If you find a better way to do it, you just simply change it. At the end of the day, hopefully you've found the best way to do anything that you are doing in the eBay business. It's going to alleviate issues. This way you're not going to miss something. If every day you pull an item, you seal the item, you get the packing material, you write the name of who it's going to on there, you label the product after it's actually printed up, and it goes off to the mail by a certain time every day. You're not going to miss that routine. I know some people say it gets boring or it takes some of the thrill out of this. The bottom line, though, is it's a business. You want to find the best, the most practical, the most efficient way to do anything. You're not going to be running around to do each task differently or not knowing where to start. You have a standard way to do everything. Wrapping, listing, photographing, directing or editing your photos. Whatever you do, it helps to have a standard policy on it, a standard practice, a standard system to actually do that task. Whether it be listing or assigning or running schedules or whatever you do, even going out and sourcing. Once you know how an auction works or a specific estate sale works, you'll be able to better address it when you get there. You'll know how you can price things or get like bulk deals, or what day gives you the best sales, or what day gives you the best deals when you're sourcing. All of these things can be determined to some extent. You know, you got to keep lists and make notes and things like that for all of what you do. It's going to save you time. Like when you're establishing contacts, you're going out and sourcing. You will know, again, which company does certain things if you keep notes. You'll know which company may let you in a little early or which company underprices things. And you always set up a routine to go to that sale or that company's estate sales or that company's auctions over the other ones. Everything has a routine. And a routine, as I said, will help you 100% in addressing these issues. If you do it the same way and you're able to cut off time every time you do it because you figured out just a little bit quicker way, you're saving time, especially with packing. I know people who are new to the business don't get that sometimes, or don't set up a practice in the beginning. They're excited. You're just selling something for the first time. You're making your own money. You just want to get the item out. You know, many times I see people spending too much on shipping supplies. They go down to the post office and spend money. Everything is cheaper or easier to do somewhere else, like having the post office pick up at your house or your warehouse or wherever you're working and get the mail from you. You don't have to drive out. You can sign up and set up for the U.S. Post Office's website. You can have an account where they do all this for you. There's just so many practices and systems you could put in place that will save you time first and then money second. Or, you know, there's many ways that you could just save straight money if you're not worried about the time. It just depends on the business. But if you don't set up systems to start off with, you're not going to have these opportunities. You're going to miss a lot of this. Like buying in bulk, that should be a system. You should always buy in bulk whenever you can for supplies or whatever you're buying. Like rolls of tape. I buy them cases at a time, several cases if I can get a discount. If the price is down before Christmas and third quarter, first, second week in third quarter, which usually it is, I'll buy more. They're trying to push people to buy it ahead of time so they can sell more through the season. I will buy more than that. That's something that I have in place. I know that happens every year. Certain businesses put certain items on sale at certain times of the year. Another thing to think about. Other stores get certain items in for like RA at a certain week every single year that I've been doing this. I've got that as my system. I've got that actually written down somewhere where I follow the procedure of looking at my sheets. I look at my calendars from, prior years, prior months to see where things are going. That saves me time as well as money because I source with these specific places over other ones because I know what I'm going to get. That's key, knowing what you're going to get, knowing the routine that's going on, knowing when to go is 100% important for all of this aspect of working your business. So anyway, that's just the basics on this. You got to get into this. Write yourself some notes if that's what it takes. There's nothing wrong with writing notes, keeping a tablet down, opening up a Word document, setting yourself up a calendar online or wherever you want to do it, and keeping notes. Writing company names down, writing phone numbers down. Keeping these contacts together is also important as well. A lot of people take notes and leave their telephone number here and there. If you don't write a note on when you did this, where it was left off, and what the response is, you may never go back and realize that went nowhere, and maybe they didn't turn your number, and maybe they lost it. We go back and ask the same people sometimes a couple of times, just in case it got lost. If there's a different employee there, you put that information out too. Again, don't just stop with one contact on these things as well. I do this every time I go anywhere. That's just like a system or a process I do to do anything that I'm doing in this business. So again, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gives you some real good thoughts on that. Hopefully you have some ideas out of that. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.